Hi, it's Dave from Fox Hollow Kitchen. Today we're going to make Georgia peanut pie, only on Baking with Fox Hollow Kitchen. Hello to all my Fox Hollow fam. I'm Dave and welcome to Baking with Fox Hollow Kitchen. Are you ready to get nuts?
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Well, today we're going to make Georgia peanut pie. It's so simple and so good, you guys are going to love it. So if you're ready, then let's have some fun. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is make a single pie crust. You can buy a frozen pie crust if you want, but we're going to make our own. We're going to start with 1.25 cups of flour, because we're just making a single pie crust. 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to pulse this to get it all mixed together in our food processor real quick. That's plenty. And then to that we're going to add a stick of butter that's 1/2 cup, cut into little cubes, and I usually put mine in the freezer to get it nice and solid. We're just going to add that to our flour mixture. And we're going to pulse this again until we get little crumbs, about little pea-sized pebbles. Let's see how we did there. That is looking really good. And then what we're going to do is, to this, it's not quite ready to make pie crust out of. It's too dry, so we're going to add some ice water. Like a tablespoon or 2 at a time. Until it comes together as a dough. And we're just going to keep pulsing it a little bit here. Getting there, so we're going to add a little more water. The reason we're using ice water is the idea is we want the butter to stay cold. We don't want the butter to melt into the flour. We want it to stay separate and just chopped into it. And let's try again. We are almost there. We just need a little more water. It's starting to come together when you squeeze it between your thumb and fingers, and that's what we're looking for. Okay. And hopefully that does it. Now we have a dough, and that squeezes together nice, and that looks really good. So we're going to take this out of our food processor here, and we're going to put it onto a lightly floured surface. Okay, so I have a dough ball now that I made in my food processor. I'll make sure it's nice and smooth here, and then we're going to set it on this floured surface. Just kind of cover it with flour a little bit, just so that it's not just so sticky. And we're going to flatten it out into a disc. This will refrigerate it a little better. And then I'm going to take this disc and I'm going to wrap it in plastic wrap so it doesn't dry out. Just wrap it tightly in plastic wrap. Throw it in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. You can also let it go overnight if you want. And then we'll take it out and we're ready to go. Alright, our dough has sat in the refrigerator wrapped in plastic for about 2 hours. I'm going to take it out, unwrap it here, set it down on a lightly floured surface. And we're going to roll it out into about a 12-inch circle. And just keep rolling. Get it into a circle as best we can. Getting close here. It's okay to have a little extra. Just want it to be able to fit into my pie pan, which is 9 inches. And I think we've just about got it. Yes, I think that will be just right. So we're going to stick it in our pie pan, right like that. Make sure it's pressed the whole way to the bottom. And then we're going to cut off the excess. I usually just take a knife and start cutting until I get the excess off. Just saw it off just like that. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flute the edges really easily. Now, if you have a frozen pie crust, you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to flute the edges with my thumb and fingers. Just crimp it really nice here. Okay. And then what we're going to do with this is we're going to throw it in the freezer for a little while we make our filling. And get this to be sort of a frozen crust. And then we'll make our filling while we're waiting for that to freeze. Okay, so now we're going to make our filling. The filling is very simple. It's 3 large eggs.
Okay.
1 teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay.
A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A 1/4 cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar. You can use dark, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And 1 cup of light corn syrup.
Now, can you use dark corn syrup for this? Or?
I suppose you could. I don't know how it would turn out, but I suppose you could.
Okay.
Most people use light corn syrup for everything, so. And then we're just going to whisk that together.
Okay.
Until we get a nice filling here.
Now back to the brown sugar. What is the difference between dark brown sugar and light brown sugar?
Dark brown sugar has a little more of the molasses in it.
Okay.
It has a more bold flavor, slightly, but there's not much difference really between the two things. Just whisk this together until we get a nice filling. That looks good. And then what I'm going to do is, I have a cup of raw peanuts, not salted, not honey roasted, not dry roasted, not anything, just raw peanuts.
Okay.
And we're going to stir these in
Okay.
to our filling. Just get them all mixed in there, get them nice and coated.
Now, why do you not want to use any other type of peanut besides?
Well, you'll add like different flavors to the pie, which is not, not what the pie is. It's just made from raw peanuts.
Okay.
And that's it. We're going to pour that into our shell here in a second, and we're ready to go. Okay, so I have my frozen pie crust here. I'm going to take my filling that I just made with the peanuts and everything, and we're going to pour it into our pie shell.
Oh, that looks yummy.
Just like that. Get every drop that you can. These almost look like white beans. And I want to get every drop.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
And then I'm going to bake this at 450 degrees for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to lower the temperature to 350 degrees and bake it for another 45 minutes to 50 minutes.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, sounds good.
And now for the best part, the taste test. Let's get a little piece here and cut off a little end of it. That is really delicious and peanutty. You guys are gonna love it. Wrapping up today, I want to thank you all for joining us and encourage you to check out our friends and support channels listed in the description below. But before I go, always remember, good times and good food only on Baking with Fox Hollow Kitchen. We'll see you soon.
If you like this video or any of our other videos,
Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and stay tuned for future shows.